Hey, welcome to the Paperback Pilgrim. Today we're talking about Stephen King's It. I'm sure it needs no introduction. Everybody's at least heard of Pennywise the Dancing Clown. They know the general gist of Stephen King's It. This book I have read 3 times in the past 6 years, and it gets better each time. It's incredible how Stephen King weaves in and out from the past, the different perspectives. It's just incredible. It's why he's one of my favorite authors. It's amazing how he does that. The movies, I remember being a kid when 1990 ABC miniseries came out, and the first part, I remember sitting with my mom watching it, and we were scared. But then I think it was the following night or the following week, however, it aired the second part, and it was such a letdown. Thankfully, the book is not like that. The 2017 chapter one, funny. I liked the changes they made to bringing it up to the 80s, then to modern day in 2019. Chapter two in 2019. I didn't really like chapter two though, just like the second half of the 1990 miniseries. But thankfully, the book it doesn't suffer that. It deserves to be called a horror classic, and Pennywise deserves to be right up there with Frankenstein, Dracula, werewolf, mummy, which is funny because all of those monsters actually appear in the book. This book is scary, and it's scary because it's about your worst fears coming true, and some things you weren't even certain that you were afraid of coming true. And that goes for both the children and also the adults. I will say that as an adult with kids, it is it can be kind of hard to read. And if you have kids, then you can relate to the parents, at least to some extent. Eddie Kasprick's mom, I can understand her fear of her son being harmed and her being overprotective. I think we've all done that with our kids. I can understand Richie Tozer's dad making him do chores to earn money as a lesson for spending all his allowance. I've done that with my kids, which you might hear one of them right now. I can understand Ben Hanscom's mom. She overfeeds him because she's never around. She's working so much because she's a single parent. Her husband died, and she's just overcompensating. I know from being a dad that there have been times when I've had to work too much and kind of try to make up for lost time by taking the kids out and spending a little bit more than I should. So we can relate to them on that. But there are two sets of parents that I just can't relate to. Beverly Marsh's parents and Bill Denbrough's parents. Potential spoiler alert if you haven't read the first 10 pages or seen the movies, but Bill Denbrough's little brother Georgie dies, and that happy family turns into just a quiet, almost non-existent family. And Bill suffers for that. He struggles to get his parents' attention, but they just don't pay attention to him. It's like he doesn't exist. I can understand loss. Thank God I've never lost one of my kids, but I can imagine the pain that his parents go through. But I can't understand completely shutting out your other kid. And it just continues. Like, he never really gets his parents back. The other set of parents I can't relate to are Beverly Marsh's parents. The mom has her suspicions, but she's always working. Her dad, he's very, let's say, interested in his daughter. Can't relate to that at all. I'm sure some readers unfortunately can, but That is horrific to me. I can't imagine my kids ever being that scared, worried for their own safety. I can't imagine my kids ever feeling neglected by me or their mom. It's just scary to think that that happens. And then you throw in a freaking creepy clown. I mean, Pennywise is scary. He tortures these people. And that wasn't even fully conveyed well in the movies, even though the chapter 1 and chapter 2 from recent years were rated R. They still did not compare to everything Pennywise did in the books. Highly recommend this book. Highly recommend, no matter, as long as you're, I wouldn't say young kid, but older teens, 18, 19. And I say that just as a dad. From that age on up, you're going to enjoy it. It's something that everyone can relate to. None of us as kids thought about what it would be like leaving our childhood behind, not playing games with our friends, just forgetting about them and growing up. And that happens in this book. And we look back as adults, and we think, yeah, I mean, it's just part of life. People grow up, go to college, get different jobs, get married, have friends, move. So looking at it go from an adult perspective to a kid's perspective seamlessly is just incredible. Again, cannot recommend this book enough. Also, the movies are pretty good, except for chapter 2 in both parts. Just stick to the first half of the movies and you'll be good. And just like last time, stay tuned for a video synopsis of this book.
This iconic story by Stephen King has had a profound impact on pop culture since its publication in 1986. Here are several ways it has left its mark. Memorable characters were introduced to readers like Pennywise the Dancing Clown, who has become one of horror fiction's most iconic villains. The Losers Club, a group of misfit kids who band together to confront Pennywise, also became beloved characters. Pennywise's terrifying portrayal as a clown has contributed to the widespread fear of clowns in popular culture. The character's influence can be seen in countless horror films, TV shows, and even real-life incidents where people express discomfort or fear around clowns. The novel has been adapted into various forms of media, including a highly successful 1990 miniseries starring Tim Curry as Pennywise. However, it was the 2017 film adaptation directed by Andy Muschietti that truly brought the novel back into the mainstream. The film received critical acclaim and became one of the highest-grossing horror films of all time, spawning a sequel that further cemented the story's place in pop culture. Themes of childhood and trauma are explored in a way that resonates with audiences. Its depiction of the struggles and fears of adolescence, as well as the power of friendship to overcome evil, has left a lasting impact on readers and viewers alike. Overall, this horror classic has had a significant and enduring impact on pop culture, shaping the way we think about horror and storytelling in general. Its legacy continues to influence new generations of creators and audiences alike.